Everyone, in this video we are going to see the concept of basics of Unix. So you all know that Unix is an operating system. It is a text oriented operating system. We have two types of operating system. Earliest are the text operating system, where all the commands are given through the text commands. But in the case of Windows operating system, every command is given through the click of an icon. So this Windows operating system are user friendly, but these text oriented operating systems are faster because the commands are numeric, the commands are in text mode. So it is easy for the interpreter to just to interpret and send the message to the computer. So it is faster, but it is not much user friendly. But the Windows based operating system are user friendly because they are having the icons, which is very comfortable for the user to use. So we are, and also we know that operating system is a intermediate between the hardware and the user defined application. Okay, so now when we have our application programs, it has to be executed in the system. So how it can be done? The operating system acts as a mediator between the hardware of the system and our application software. And then about Unix is one operating system where it is meant for an multitasking and multi-user, or is an operating system. What is multitasking is many tasks can be run in the system simultaneously. That means one process can be multiplied, means divided into multiple tasks, and they can be run in a multiple systems. That means multiple subsystems. That is in the case of like a multiple threads. It's a threading concept is there. So multiple way the processes are executed. And what is multi-user is more than one user can log into the system and they can process their processes. So that is, it is both multitasking and multi-user operating system. Okay. So now as a Unix, it is developed in 1970s by this Bell Lab and developer by Ken Thompson, Dennis Ritchie and others, and it is mainly used to work in a mainframe system. So mainframe systems are the bigger systems which can operate voluminous amount of data. So that is the advantage of this Unix operating system. And it is mainly one more thing is it is all about the advanced security features as well as the portability. So it can be used in number of platforms. And about Unix, it is a networking, it is mainly used for networking concept also. Okay, so that means multi-user can communicate with one another by sending some messages through pipes or queues. That is the one advantage of this Unix operating system. Now let us see the architecture of the Unix OS. So here we can see the kernel is the core or the nucleus, we say. So it touches the hardware. Okay, and then how the kernel can be approached through the system calls. So there are some system calls which is specially meant to make all the management, the process management or memory management or file management, everything is done by the kernel, but through the commands from the system calls. So this kernel is a separate system software where it can touch the that is where it can touch the hardware of the system, so that to make the process comfortable and efficient and faster. And then the system calls are the system built-in commands to just to manage the all the parts of the operating system, like process management, file management and device management and so on. And then shell is the one which is an convenient for is an application oriented for the user. The user can write the system call itself as is a collection of system calls in a shell. So the user can write either the application commands or the system calls in the shell commands. The shell commands is an interpreter mode system where the shell can interpret the application, the user's application's request to the system call, and that will be in turn passed to the kernel and system will be executed. So there also we are having some library routines where the user can use in writing the shell commands or shell scripts, user can also utilize the library routine, standard routine which is used for all the like device management, creating directories, files, everything. So that all can be done through the shell scripts, and the user can use the shell script to activate the operating system in the kernel. Okay, so now here let us see the functions of the kernel. What the kernel can do is the kernel can touch the computer hardware such as the memory, disk, printer and etc. And then the kernel can schedule the processes, it can control, execute the various user defined tasks. That means it is all about the process management, and then it manages the data storage and control the computer access by the several users. This is all about the device management and also the memory management. This is the device management, this is the process management, and this is the memory management. And also, more than all these components, the kernel is also, it is composed of several subcomponents such as configurations, including boot code. What is boot code is, in order to start the system we need some code. In disk operating system we have called this an BIOS, basic input output system. Likewise here we are having a boot code and also device drivers. What are the device driver is, if any device is attached or plugged into the system, maybe a keyboard or a mouse pointer or a joystick or any device is attached to the plug into the system, it needs some driver to communicate between the device and the system, that is the device drivers. So that is also controlled by the kernel. And then some hardware, which is the some control hardwares and as well as the header files. So we know that about the header files. The header files are all about the how to make the pre-processing and how to make the communication with the input, output and all this, any special devices we are using, any special files we are using. For all these things, header files plays an important role. So all these things are controlled by the kernel. This is the nucleus of the operating system. And then what about the shell? Shell is an interface between the user and the kernel. So user can create a set of commands as a form of shell script, and that can be executed to the kernel to make the system work. So user can interact with the shell using the shell commands. So what are the ways the shell can be interpreted is, the interpreting the commands given by the user and execute them to the kernel, that is one way, and also providing programming ability to the user to write the shell commands for a shell script to perform the specific task. That means the kernel, the shell can be used to both to touch the kernel as well as the user application programs. So that's what's the shell. And then next is the commands. There are some system built-in commands available, and here we can see that one type is the shell commands, which is the primary user interface, where the user can write all the commands like like when you say create directory, list of the files, listing the directory, finding the files in the directory, searching, copying. So many files operations, many operations are there, that all done through the shell commands. And it also can be there are also some utility commands where the system utilities, that means some utilities to make the administrative tools like entering the system, just creating the password and then accessing the authorizing the access, like all the types of accesses, reading access, write access, execute access. So those administrations, who can log in, who cannot log in, what is the user log file, that all supported by the utilities, system utilities, and also the user utilities for the environment management tools. So this is all about the environment management tools, in the sense that how the user can log into the system, how many can log in at a time, and how long they can. So that all will be controlled by the user utilities. So utilities are of system as well as the user utilities, and it also has some commands like general purpose commands, such as to make some printing, some typesetting. We can make some printing how many lines in the document, what is the type font we can use, that also can be controlled by the some commands in the operating system. So that's all here. These are all the commands, the basic commands the Unix provides the user for the convenience to operate between the system and the user. And thanks for watching.